Hi, Virgo. Don't know why my nose is a little red, but we're gonna like roll with it. January, Capricorn season reading. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the link to the extended reading, which will be in the first link below, but give it about 24 to 48 hours before it becomes available, please. First card out is the Queen of Cups, the Lovers, and then there's a few more. They're all majors though, which is kind of wild. So right now, I kind of just want to spread them out first. Okay, right now, there's light being shed upon your feelings towards your relationships, but what's also perhaps coming out about some relationships that you have. They may be showing you where in your life that you need to pay a little bit more of attention to. It could be also someone in your life asking you for more attention, perhaps, especially if there has been things that have been maybe been feeling different for the past like week or so. This is also about what comes up in relationships, connections. This is that real stuff that that everyone has to address at a certain point. And this is something that, from the looks here, that you want to resolve. And it's possible that it stems from your ability to grieve, your ability to communicate how it is that you feel. Now, who's a master of that? Probably no one. That's something that us humans are just, I feel like, have been beginning to do, right? Learn to communicate more. But on a greater scale, this is also about how you are in communication with the world around you from whatever place you're at, from how it is that you're feeling, and how you communicate with the world because of that. And how, whether positive or negative, it comes from your ability to perhaps grieve, or to where it is that you have had patterns, right? We all have patterns. What patterns that have shown up in your life in the masculine yang areas of your life, the areas of which you act upon. So it could be that, shocker, Virgo, just making a joke here, that you might be overworking right now for some of you. It may be very clearly communicating that. Of course, depending on your circumstances, life is lifing, and you may not be able to change that as of right now, but just know that whatever's coming up within you as well, right? There's this Mars. So we have the Emperor. Sorry, I didn't show you all the cards yet. The Queen of Cups, the Lovers, the Moon card. Also, you may find that the people closest to you appreciate you. You may also get some flowers or praise this month. And we had the Emperor. This all came out at once. Emperor, Temperance, and the Five of Cups. There's some appreciation here too, and your ability to connect. And there could be just this information that you receive. I do feel like a lot of you are receiving information. Really makes something click too. It's possible that you didn't even know you needed to grieve something, or you didn't know you didn't grieve this situation, person, all of it together. And what alchemizes from however you choose to communicate this, whether it's how you create something, whether it's how you make your next decisions based off of work and your life and your situation, right? All of that is about how you communicate with life around you, how you choose to talk to people, how any of those areas, like specifically, literally, in an action way, all of it will, all of it and any of it are a part of how you may have been almost surprised by maybe what you are healing at this moment, or what you're needing to look at right now. This may have come on stronger and sharper than you would have expected as well. And it may have already come up for some of you, but for others of you, by the couple weeks, I would check the next full moon, the Leo full moon. This information may shift your life or cause you to make certain decisions in your life. For some of you, these changes appear big at first, but then you realize that they're not that. It's not that. It was just more dramatic. However, Virgo, we must always admit that I have seen this with Virgos, is that everything kind of just crumbles at once. You're in an earth sign right now. We're in an earth sign season. It's a great opportunity to change any structure in your life. And this is what it appears that it's guiding you to do. And it looks like your structure is really your emotional and how you've been dealing with it, or not, if you have not been dealing with it. Because first, a shift in your mental state, then there's a shift in your physical state, and then, there's this climax of a moment, and then everything simmers down, because the truth is that energy will never be able to hold up, regardless of how bad the news is. Let the scenarios play out in your head. This is just the advice to you. Let the scenarios play out in your head. And allow your best, in the best possible way that you can, allow yourself to let go of any unnecessary drama, of any unnecessary, and maybe you need to have a moment in order for things to wash away. The strength that you gain and that you're gaining from this experience that you're having right now, is shifting your ego in a way that may not feel the best, but in the long run, it's well worth it. It's very much a Capricorn fatherly teaching, it looks like. That it's really important for you to use your ability, your ego in life, of course. It's really important to assert yourself. It's really important to work. But there will always be consequences to choices. And sometimes, you know, there's strength in this trust and faith that taking a moment for yourself at a time where it may come to you as a question, right? There have been many times I can attest to that, you know, I probably should have took the day to rest. I probably should said no to covering a shift or something. I probably should have said no to something. And in return for overworking myself, I would get sick, which would cost me a day anyway. So it's like, thank God I worked that hard, but it's most likely because you're run down that things happen. Now, for some people, they get sick, just like that example. For you, your mind goes through this battle and you feel like you may be fighting everyone around you, but you're really just fighting perhaps your need to rest, especially your mind. And when you come to that, you may still have a moment, but when you finally have this set in realization, the luck that you feel and the energy you can put into your work, into what's really important to you. This is just how you perhaps learn and how you've come to learn. That could change in these moments. The reason why shifting the experience, even if you're still going through the not so great feeling part of it in the most graceful way, it's the realizations, it's the learning, it's the understanding that we come to because of it, in spite of it, whatever it is. That for the next time, because there will always be a next time in some way, shape, or form. I'm also talking to myself as a Virgo moon. You know, the emotional side of things. It's really important for you to trust this now. To trust when, for some reason, someone asks you if you want a break, or some reason you feel like this is probably not a good idea. Those little inklings and going off of those are really important. So if you can't get away from working too much either, make sure you're doing something every day for yourself. You don't have to. This is just something every day. This is what this Eight of Pentacles is in this. And then we have 8 with the Strength. It's like putting more into yourself helps things move. The Leo full moon seems important. That we'll talk about in the next part even more. But we already talked about it. So between now and the Leo moon, full moon in Aquarius season, which will be the first few days of February. I don't exactly know the exact date in this moment. But just be wary, because you may feel extra lucky and you naturally feel like maybe regenerating that into yourself and into what's important to you. Maybe you do take those few days and you feel so much better that therefore you want to put more work into it. That's really important too. I find that I know that you're going to work anyway. Like everyone, or anyone, especially earth signs, I know you're going to work anyway. That's not the problem. It's more of just finding somewhat of a balance in your mind. Even if you still are going to work every fucking day and you have to, do something for your brain or for yourself every day that you really enjoy, or that keeps, it doesn't have to be the same thing every day. That thing that you just need, spend the money on that. All of what you're doing, spend a little bit of time on that, because it will go a long way, especially for you. You may even find that that draws in more money. Maybe even, just be careful of those maybe overly complimenting you too at this time. People want more of your luck and more of what you have, and you're going to see that probably throughout the course of this month. It's really important for you to keep your focus there, because there's also an overarching sense here that it's helping you heal this, whatever's come up by the end of the month, especially within that relationship, with someone who could have also been motherly and very supportive spiritually in your life. You may have some realizations about that, and you will have people wanting to work with you, and it's up to you. There will be multiple opportunities, but it's also up to you to be in that discernment phase, right? When we go through certain things in our lives, discernment doesn't always take priority where it should, right? I forget about that word. And unless it's natural for you at this point, or like in any area of your life, no matter what's going on, if it's not, it's really important at this time to also make sure that discernment when wanting to work with people, because if it results in you just having to do everything, then what's the point of collaborating unless they have something that you also get in return? Because if not, resentment can happen, and then all of this could have been avoided in the first place. So just a few things to think about this month. This month is very transactional externally, but internally, there's a lot that you're shifting and a lot that is going on. So anyone close to you or anyone who really might need to know that, I would give them a heads up as you're processing some things that you probably weren't expecting. Okay, Virgo, don't be afraid. Even if it feels uncomfortable, unnatural, because people can care about you, and they do. We do. I care about you, okay? And we'll get right into the second part, which will be in the link below, and we'll see you also next month.